Welcome to Confident Conversations. Today we've got Snoozito.
It's good, my peoples. Snoozito here with Juan.
So how you doing? How you doing after Colombia?
Oof, I'm good, man. I miss it a lot.
I can imagine.
Yeah, it's like it's almost like a lion being taken out of his cage and then being put back into its cage, like coming back to England. I feel like how would you say it? The way how I expressed myself there was a lot different.
What, from here?
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like here I'm very closed off. I don't like to show myself off to people. I don't like to brag. I don't like to act in a certain way. But out there, it's not like I lost caring, but I was just much more happier and free. I didn't think about other people's opinion on me as much.
Would you say you were more introverted here than you are in Colombia?
Yeah,
Okay.
by miles.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. I'm the opposite.
Okay.
I'm the complete opposite. But what made you go out there? What was like?
Well, so with the old company I used to work for, we had a meeting between us all with Big Sean's manager, Zeno Jones, and he actually told me to go where you're appreciated and not where you're tolerated. And that was kind of the first step that made me think maybe here isn't the lane to go. There is a Latin scene here. However, there's another side of the world that's booming, and it also doesn't have UK Latin artists. So, for example, with the UK Latin artists here, it's incredible. There's so much talent, but it's starting to become saturated. Whereas over there, there's no like Latin artists that have come from a different country that have started to pop off over in that end, over on that side of the water, if you feel what I'm saying. So I thought, okay, I want to at least, because I mean, when I looked at my Spotify for artists, the most listened to country is Colombia.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Bogota and Medellin are the cities that listen to me the most.
Oh, damn.
So I thought, okay, I flew into Bogota because my Colombia journey didn't start in Medellin. It started in Chinchina in Caldas. So it was a lot different, but yeah.
How would you compare Colombia to here in the sense of lifestyle, your music career, the food?
Well, the food is incredible. If you're living with pounds, it's much more affordable to live over that side. I felt like I was very accepted by the people. I feel like, especially with the music, like for example, I would tell them like, I make Latin music, I make reggaeton, and they just look at me with like awe. They're like, how? Like some kid from England, who probably like Spanish isn't his first language, and he's doing that, and he's come over here. They kind of respect it. Like I actually get the appreciation I deserve over on that side of the water to over here. I feel like.
And just to confirm, you're not Colombian born.
No, 0%. I'm English and part Lithuanian from my granddad's side, but that's
mad.
Yeah,
that's mad. I've never seen anyone outside Colombia, being like a foreigner. In Colombia, I've always seen Colombians, Venezuelans, but never anything different.
I mean, now in Medellin is very mixed. There's a lot of people. There's a lot of people from Holland. A lot of Chinese people.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and there's so many gringos. Like there's so many Americans.
Oh,
it's
wow.
crazy.
I wouldn't have thought that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have thought that. Like I'm from Armenia. I don't really see much. I only see like the basics.
Yeah.
Travel distance isn't far from anywhere. But in terms of like for people who are, foreign, I would never have thought that. Not even in a Parque cafe.
For real?
Yeah.
There was quite a few. There was quite a few foreigners in Parque Cafe, but it was more in Medellin. When you go to like Pereira, Manizales, like these like pueblitos and like smaller cities, you don't see gringos. Okay. But there's also like certain parts of Medellin. Like there was one point where I had to stay in Manrique, and no gringos. No one.
Oh wow.
Like yeah. I was probably like the only extra I head over for like miles. Like yeah.
Oh damn.
But that was quite an experience in itself, like living in the barrio, fam. Like I didn't even realize as well. Like I booked it on Airbnb. I was like, okay, this one's nice. It's cheaper. It's it's got a nice view. Almost. And then I was in the Uber. And then the Uber drivers were looking at me a bit sideways, and they was like you're going to Madrid, you're staying in Madrid. I was like, yeah. They was like, oh, like, you know, watch the phone, watch everything, you know, take care. And it's like it's like that everywhere though.
It is.
You know, and obviously, yeah, you could say like in Colombia and Latin America, it's much more like common for things like that to happen. Which, you know, let's not deny that's the truth. But it happens here as well.
Yeah, 100%.
Like I can't lie. I said this to my manager Savannah the other day, that I actually felt safer walking around Centro in Medellin at night than I did walking around here in the daytime.
Damn.
That's saying something.
It is. Especially saying that about Colombia.
And that's a hot take. I know a lot of people are going to watch this and look back and go, what? Centro at nighttime? It's booky. But it's booky to the sense that, like, I don't know, it just doesn't feel like people are just going to come up and do some craziness, you know?
I think that is very overly misconcepted. Mm-hmm. Yes, Colombia has its dangers, but it's not everywhere.
Yeah.
You just got to know where to be.
100%.
I think London's more dangerous than Colombia at this point.
Yeah.
Tottenham, Edmonton, Brixton. Sorry, guys, I'm at N9. But yeah, I think these areas are getting more dangerous, and yes, people are getting killed in Colombia, but the same's happening here.
Oh yeah.
We just don't report as much here than they do in Colombia.
And you know, it's funny because I had a conversation with my mom a couple months ago, like when I was in Colombia, and she was talking about, you know, like how the country is, because obviously she doesn't know anything. She was talking about the corruption, and I said, you know, there's probably more corruption in England, but they cover it up with suits and ties and all of these different bills and stuff, and past this and past that. There's a lot of corruption over there, but here we can't deny that there is a lot here as well.
I'd say the difference is they do it openly.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Like here it's hidden.
Yeah.
So when you say to like a Colombian, like there's a lot of corruption in England, like there's problems with money, there's problems with the economy, like there's this and this. They look kind of, oh, that's new. Like I feel like a lot of, it's not just Latin America. I feel like a lot of people, foreign people, were kind of fed lies about England. I feel like they was kind of led to believe it was like the promised land where everything's like perfect and everything's glorious, when in reality, I mean, it's the same everywhere, man. It's the same everywhere.
Oh, 100%. I just think it's more told about the third world countries.
Yeah.
Who can't really do much about it. Mm-hmm. Whereas the first world countries, we can hide it.
Yeah.
We can do things about it and hide it from the world.
Yeah, I think that's pretty spot on.
Something that I spoke on a couple of episodes ago was discrimination in Colombia. Mm-hmm. In your time out there, because you were there a lot longer than me, did you see anyone with like disabilities, different conditions, or was it really like?
Do you know what? In Chinchina, I did. I see a lot of people with disabilities. However, okay, so there's two different there's disabilities from people that live in la calle, you know, that do that. But when it comes down to actual disability, I actually taught. I was a volunteer teaching English in schools for a while, and I taught in a school with loads of kids who had Down syndrome and, you know, all of that. And I volunteered there, and they have facility for it. You know, there's a lot of people, and I would say I didn't see discrimination personally. No, I wouldn't. No, I didn't see no discrimination. If anything, in especially Chinchina, there was more love surrounding it, because there was a place, like there was a specific school, and when you go to this school, like you walk in there, you just feel love. Like there's no, like you don't feel like someone's like mistreating someone. Like it's all love. Like
yeah, the reason that I say that is when I went to a podcast cafe and I touched on it again on that episode, when you go in, I remember being stopped by the man at the gate, and he was like, "You need a special ticket, and you can't go on all the rides." So I missed out on a few rides. Yeah. Because I've got a disability.
See, I never saw that. Especially when I went, I didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I didn't.
Yeah.
Take that in at all. I mean, like, I did see what you said about, you know, all of that kind of stuff, and I do agree with you. I think in the sense there's not a lot of accessibility for people with disabilities. For example, like on buses, There's no like, or like trains. I mean, to be fair, the in Medellin, the metro is very. I mean, that is accessible. It's like
Yeah.
step free.
Okay.
I would say, if anything, the metro over there is better than the one here for
Okay.
things like that and
Okay.
cleanliness and
Yeah.
the way how it all functions. Um, but yeah, I feel like the accessibility for people with disability, like to do things and like to have access to this and that, I do feel like that is a bit that is
Okay.
lacking.
Okay. And going back on disabilities,
Mm-hmm.
because when we were speaking on Instagram, you sort of touched on that you suffered when you were younger.
Yeah.
How has that sort of boosted your music career? How has that sort of gone, okay, I can do this in Colombia, I can do this anyway?
See, that was okay. So I have suffered with like depression and anxiety from being very young. I wouldn't say I got over it, but I definitely learned how to control it in a different manner. And I think even like with the Colombia decision to leave by myself for so long, it was very nerve-wracking. And the anxiety, the anxiety from back in the day, like the childhood anxiety of like rejection and abandonment, it all kind of was there. However, I just said, like, if I don't do this now, like, I think it comes to a point where you kind of get a little bit sick with the depression and you get a bit sick of the limits that it puts onto you. And I feel like this is person to person, 100%.
Yeah.
But I feel like for me, I had to kind of take that, okay, listen, like, I could be sitting here depressed, doing nothing in my bed, trying to like get myself up, or I could literally just say, no, I'm doing this.
Yeah, 100%.
That was the best thing I've ever done in my life. Deciding to not give the depression so much power in my life to the point where it cripples me, like to sit on a sofa and just be like, no, I'm not doing anything with my life. No, I don't know. I couldn't do it.
Well, I like that. You let it motivate you rather than hold you back.
Definitely. I would definitely say that.
I like that.
There is a lot of times where I would be sad and I'm down about some situation and it would like pull you down, but it's never to the point where you're like, I need to quit everything I'm doing because this isn't,
Yep. And I think this leads perfectly into a question that Anna Bunez asked. How did Colombia affect you? How did it motivate you to do your music?
Oh, wow.
How did it sort of push you?
You know what's crazy? Even just being in an Uber, listening to my songs on the radio, like not on the radio, but like on the aux, driving around the city, just like looking at everything, taking it all in, just like the vibe. I can't explain it. Like if you've been to Medellin, you know about the vibe. It's different. It gives you a new energy that you never thought your body could like bring out of you.
I'm gonna have to go soon.
You need to go to Medellin. We need to go
never been.
together. We need to go together.
100%.
That would be a very good.
100%. Your career reminds me a lot of another artist. I used to be good friends with her, but she got big and unfortunately we don't speak as much anymore. Paloma Lomax.
Okay.
Yeah. She used to do shows in Albania. But hearing your story sort of reminds me of how much you can actually do in Colombia when you push yourself.
Oh yeah. I even now I feel like with my time there, I done a lot. Have linked with some big people. Like we've got some big stuff coming. However, I don't like. I mean, I ain't gonna talk too much on those type of things, but it just when you start to do these small things, they start adding up, and especially when you're over there and you're like, I could do all of this, and I've done loads of stuff, but at the same time, it still doesn't feel like I've done everything I wanted to. Like and I don't know whether that's because I actually didn't go 10 million% in and like go ham every day, whether I was chilling, or whether that's just how it was meant to be.
I'd say everything happens for a reason. I'd say every small little achievement adds up, 100%. The way I've sort of looked at things are, you got to go small steps with everything. You can't go 100 straight away. You just got to dip your toe in. And that's something that I've realised in the last 3 years with my journey. Just sort of dip your toe in. If you're good at it, 100% carry on. If you're not, practice makes perfect. But You just got to keep going.
That's pretty spot on. You know, practice does make perfect at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for example, like with my Spanish, like before I left, I could speak it. I was learning for like a year and a half about, and then when I went out there, that's when everything changed. Like before you could tell me like the simplest thing and I wouldn't have understood.
Mm-hmm.
And like now we can like I'm singing in Spanish, doing shows in Spanish, you know, and like when we go back to Colombia, we're looking at getting more like interviews and stuff, and that's gonna be in Spanish, you know.
Ooh.
So it's like going from someone who like, bro, they didn't even let me do it in school, bro. They used to say, no, you need to do extra English because you can't do Spanish. You're not physically. They told me I wasn't physically intelligent enough to do Spanish, and they tried to make me do French. So I just half-assed the French. I didn't really go too heavy onto it, and I was like, you know what, like. They tried to say that about me with learning Spanish, and 2 years later, without any of their help, I didn't have a teacher. I learned from Duolingo to start and reggaeton and telenovelas.
100%.
That's how.
What novelas were you watching?
Sin Senos y Paraíso, there's all of the Pablo Escobar ones, obviously. Not no Narcos, none of that, but like Alias JJ, all of those different ones. Yeah, there's some good telenovelas out there. Yeah, there's some good ones. Yeah, 100%. I can't remember the name of it. The Pasión de
Gavilanes.
That's I started watching that out there. That was
Yeah, I've watched a few, but I've never been a novela type of guy. Sin Senos caught my attention straight away.
Yeah.
Everything like El Paraíso, because it was a continuation. Betty La Fea. I'm not a novela guys. I'm not a novela person, but these novelas always caught my attention. What was the other one? That was with Viola. But for me, I think I've always said that school held me back a lot, and I think that's what you're sort of saying as well. School is great and educational and fantastic, but it also holds you back. They don't teach you the important stuff. They don't teach you what you actually need to know. And for me, por ejemplo, like with certain things, I suffered with dyslexia. I didn't know I had dyslexia. And I didn't find out until I got to uni. So I was about, 18 when I found out. So I failed, confession guys, I failed English about 10 times. I thought I was stupid, I thought I was dumb, I didn't know why I was failing English until I got reviewed during a medical for uni. And they said, the way you're writing shows me that you've got dyslexia.
Wow.
So all my life I had gone unnoticed with dyslexia. So that's why I say I got held back a lot from school.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Like I said, suffering with, depression and anxiety, I didn't actually spend a lot of my time in the school. From being bullied very young, I was bullied for, the most of my school life. I just kind of learnt to do my own thing. Yeah. And I feel like, the school environment is very, I feel like it depends on the type of person you are, the way you were brought up. I feel like with school, it's so appearance based as well. Because I was out of shape. Yeah. I wasn't the best looking kid. So, all of the good looking kids who were proper built nice and all of that, they had all of the nice girlfriends and they was playing football in the Astro and doing all of this crazy stuff. Yeah. And I was the one just sitting there by myself in the lunch hall, bro.
Oh, that was very similar to me. I was always by myself. Although I did tell this story on Instagram the other day, the gang. Yeah. As in the N9, no. The actual thugs, gang, wannabe gangsters that I knew. I wasn't alone in the sense of I had no friends. Yeah. But I was alone in the sense of they used me a lot and also it was a sense of, I don't know, they went to do their own stuff, which I can't fault them for. I've got a disability, I can't play football. So I can't fault them, but I felt very alone. Yep. But with these wannabe gangsters, I used to square up to them.
Okay.
I used to be like, what? What you gonna do? What? But as soon as they came out of that classroom, I would leg it.
Yeah.
But that taught me that yes, I've got a disability, but I'm fast and I can move.
Uh-huh.
Um, and for me, it was like, okay, I might be alone, but at least I know I can defend myself. I can,
Oh, yeah.
and I've got the speed to sort of run away. Yeah, they used to catch me and punch me jokingly, but for me, I felt very alone in that school.
Yeah.
But it was great that I have like good memories that outweighs the bad.
Yeah. You know what? I think I'm with you on that one. Even though probably 3/4 of my school life was hell, basically.
Yeah.
The quarter definitely revived it.
Mm-hmm.
Those times sitting in science with my guy Smithy just joking about like, you know, like teacher says something funny and is like, and you just like start joking around.
Oh,
like,
100%.
all of those little things definitely add up, you know.
Oh, 100%. 100%. What sort of inspired you to start music?
Oh, well, my dad. So basically, my dad used to be a DJ for.
Okay.
Yeah, it was more like radio presenter / DJ. But for Radio Caroline, so a pirate radio back in the day, like the 80s, he used to go out on the big boats and and do it in the middle of Holland, because like here in this country you couldn't, you know, like radio stations, if you know, there's a lot of rules and stuff behind them, and they used to just go out to sea on this big boat called Radio Caroline and just stream music, pirate music for the whole of basically the whole of Europe. And he was very big, you know. He done his thing. He was put on BBC News a couple of times, but like we didn't have the greatest relationship growing up. But it's clear that the music bug from him was clearly, you know, passed down to me, and that I'm forever grateful for, you know.
Oh, okay. So you said the music sort of grew from your dad's side.
Yeah.
Did your mum always support that side, or?
It was very mixed. I feel like there was support from the beginning. However, until recently, when I've actually been doing my thing, I've actually been properly, you know, going ham and going to Colombia and doing all these crazy things. I think now she's starting to take it seriously. Because I feel like before she might have thought it's like, for me, it's always felt like she just thought it was more of like a hobby. Yeah. You know, more of like oh, maybe he'll do this, but I reckon, you know, normal time job in 10 years, for say. Yeah. And, you know, like, at first, it did hurt. At first, it did hurt to have that kind of thought, even if it's not true, you know? Yeah. Like, the thought in my head that, you know, but she's just trying to look out for me, bro. That's it. Like...
100%. But in saying that, I think, and I'm sorry to the Latinas here, but the mindset of old school mothers is, yes, you can pursue your passion, but you've got to have backup. Yeah. And unfortunately, people don't believe in you. Yeah. I've had that with my mum. So I sort of said to her, I'm going to do motivational speaking, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And she'll go, okay, do it. I know you can, you got potential. But I know that the way she's saying it isn't fully reflective of how they feel. They'll go, okay. They're not expecting you to fail. They want you to excel. But in the back of their minds, they're thinking, you're going to be a 9-to-5 person just like we were.
But do you know why? It's because a lot of them did have dreams. They did have bigger dreams. And the people pushed them down. Like, you know, I have people, you know, in my family who, the way how you would... So, for example, like, you're very believe in yourself. You have a lot of belief in yourself, and you would say to like one family member about this belief, and they would start trying to like put stuff in your head. Maybe it's not because they want to be vicious or like, you know, spiteful. Maybe it's just because the way how they was conditioned and how they've kind of got their brain wired means that, you know, they can't be fully supportive of you because no one was of them.
100%. And I think here we go again with my cousins. My cousins were my rocks. Again, 3 years ago, I said to them, I wanted to start this journey, and they've been there for me ever since. But if I told my mum and my dad that, they'll be like, all right, go for it. Yeah. But again, I know that they don't believe in me as much as my cousins do.
Yeah. I feel like it takes them to see something kind of big for them to go, oh, okay, I feel like it's just the old school mentality.
Yeah.
Because like you said with, plan Bs and all of this, like my mum said, like, you need a backup. And I'm like, I don't need a backup, because if that doesn't work, I'm going to plan B, but for this.
Yeah.
Like, this is the backup as well as the backup of the backup. So,
100%.
I'm going for it.
100%.
And I feel like if you have a backup, you're going to be like, the music's not really working. I have a backup here. No music.
Yeah.
And just move to the easier thing.
Yeah, 100%.
Because I feel like as people, that's what we've been conditioned to do over the recent years, is to just go easy mode. When in reality, we need to be going hard and, heavy.
Oh, I agree. And the thing is, with mothers especially, like, I've invested a lot of money in the last 2 years, over 12 grand into my career. And my mum goes, where's the money? Where's the money? When's that money coming back? But what I've seen is the opportunities that we've been given in the Latin community or in our own little progress, it makes up for the 12K.
Yeah.
It doesn't. I don't need that 12K back to go, I wish I was making money.
Yeah.
It's taking its time to come back. For me, it's look at everything I've done and look at all the opportunities that I've been given, rather than go, in a year I'm going to get 25K back and 12K profit. It's not about the money, it's about what you do with what you want to do.
That's pure passion right there. I wish I could say the same 100%. And obviously, like, I'm here for the music. I love music. Yeah. But at the same time, there's also a point where it's like, I don't want to be working a normal job, I want to be able to put food on the plate for the whole family, and, even for the people that didn't support me, to just go, you probably had you definitely had a part to play, because, you was a bit 100%. On the fence.
But this is what I tell all the artists that I'm sort of in the circle with. I sort of go, just keep grinding, keep going, keep investing, because sooner or later, you're going to be there.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to be at a stage where you can dish out money and help the people that helped you. But just don't be in a rush to be like, if I go to this festival, they're going to pay me 15K. Yes, it's great, but also just know that things happen for a reason, and it's going to work in God's time.
Oh, most definitely.
But you are going to get there.
Yeah, 100%. With investment, without investment, we're going hard at the moment. Like, big up to Savannah. That's best manager out here. I can't even lie. Like, she's putting in the work, and it's noted and appreciated. And, bro, I can't lie. Like, the things that's coming for 2024, it's insane, bro.
Can't wait, bro.
Like, it's gonna, woo, like, everyone's gonna be like, okay, like, so when we was talking about, like, being taken seriously, especially as an artist, this is what's gonna, the future. And I don't like to talk too much. I don't like to be one of the people who just talk and don't put action in, So it's just like a more of like a, watch this space. Cause,
100%.
And I feel like for you as well, bro, you're doing your thing, you're going up, like, you're getting more with the podcast, bro. You're getting people like, yo, let's do a podcast, let's do this. Like, bro, all of these connections as well, they build up.
100%. And for that, again, I've got to say thank you to Savannah, to Luke, to Micah, because if it wasn't for them sort of believing in me, I wouldn't be here.
Definitely.
And I think I am going to give a special shout out to Joanne, who was my first mentor. If it wasn't for her sort of mentorship and sort of going, Juan, we can make something big out of this, then again, I would have been working my 9 to 5, being boring and sort of probably sleeping at this point. And just chilling with my life, thinking I'm not good enough.
It's funny you say that, bro. That's exactly how I would feel about Savannah. Like, if Savannah wasn't on my back being like, yo, listen, we need this release, like this, like, well, bro, without her, I would be in a like, in like a rut, bro. I would be in like just a bad place, like, no direction. I think having a manager, and people say, don't get a manager too early. Yeah. But I feel like when it's like, one of your very good friends, and like they know what they're doing with the management role, and I feel like it's such a nice thing to have, because you appreciate them more as a person, like obviously they're your friend, like, but when you're working with them on an inter level, like proper close, and then you have to like kind of go through these things, and we will have trip ups, we will have little disagreements, we will have like moments where it's very like raw for us, you know, we'll cry, we'll do this, but that's just part of it, man.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. And I'm going to tell you a quick story because I know we are running short for time. My granddad died 2 years ago. And at that moment, I was like, fuck it, I'm not going to do this anymore. I want to quit. I just... He was like a great part of my life. And when he died, I was like, why am I doing this? Why am I going to carry on if he's not going to see me succeed? And when that happened, Ryan was like, Juan, take your time, chill, relax. Within 2 days of him dying, I was like, Joanne, let's go back on it, because if I don't do it now, then I'm never going to do it. I'm never going to come back. And I don't care anymore. I'm going to go bigger. I'm going to go bigger and better. And for me, at that point, when she goes, let's do it, that was when I knew she was like, okay, yeah.
Time to take it to level 10.
Time to take it to another level. But she had lost someone as well. So I think both our mentalities were sort of, we got to go big now.
Yeah, 100%. I feel like with those emotions, it's so easy for you to get dragged down by them.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's dependent on where you decide to put that energy, you know?
Oh, 100%.
Like, you can put, like, all of the energy into being sad.
Yeah.
That's what most of the people do, man.
Oh, 100%.
Too many people do that. Like, you got to think about how many, like, talented people have kind of fell into that trap and just everything's gone.
100%. So I'm going to ask you the questions that was asked for you on Instagram. How have you become a different person post your Colombian trip?
I'm much more myself.
Okay.
I'm much more flamboyant. Like, I'm very, like, out there now. You know, like, before I would be very quiet. I'd be very timid in the corner, just like, oh, who's that person over there? But now if I go to the club, I want to be the life of the club. You feel me?
Okay.
Like, I've definitely, like, and you know, in my experiences with women and finding friends and all of that, it's definitely boosted my confidence a lot. I think that trip is what I needed. Like, before I went, I had a big problem with, like, self-confidence issues. I still do, but, you know, like, really bad. And I would also have problems with, like, oh, I don't want to do this because my friends aren't doing it. And I kind of got out of the mentality, and I decided to do things for me. And that's when the self-confidence rose. And once the self-confidence rises, that's it. Like, before, I would listen to my music. I'd be like, okay, it's good. You know, like, we could improve this and this.
Yeah.
Obviously, I still think the same thing. However, now it's more like, yo, we can actually do big stuff with this. Yeah. Like, let's go hard. Like, it's definitely kind of going there and coming back. It was kind of like a tease for what's to come in the future. Like, living in these big Airbnbs, like, with, like, you know, access to pools. And then you're like, you know, you're living in, like, Las Palmas or something. And you're like, this is what I want for my life. And it's, like, kind of like a little taster. You're there for the month. And you're like, how do I go so hard this month that next month I'll be here? You know? Yeah, and I feel like it's all, like, all builds from there, you know?
100%. Tiffany, congrats on your engagement, by the way.
Congrats, Tiff.
What is his passion in life? I've got a feeling I know the answer to this, but...
My passion in life, yeah, is to just make people happy, innit? It's to just spread joy, yeah? Because there's too much negativity in this world, let's be real.
Yeah.
Like, if I, like, for example, when someone texts me on Instagram and they go, I've listened to your song, like, I really like it, like, it's made, like, had a bad day today and I listened to your song and it boosted me up, I love that, you know? Like, if I could give someone a bit of advice and it lifts them up, I love that.
100%.
You know? It's like, I love just being, like, for example, like a rock of energy, and then people, when they need help or they need something, they just come to that rock of energy to just get a little bit and to just go on with their journey. That's me. I'm like that's my passion. My passion is to help people. I love music. My passion is music, you know, but my biggest passion is to actually help people.
Okay, so I think that actually answered my next question. Okay. Which was from Savannah. The connection between music and mental health.
Yeah, I think that connection is a very strange one. I feel like I used to make more happy music to run from the depression. Now, I'm so open it's more about the situations at times, you know.
I'll be real with you. I listen to a lot of music that has feeling in it. So like vallenatos,
Yeah,
rancheras.
yeah.
I listen to a lot of Katie Cruz and Santos because I can connect to the lyrics.
Yep.
So vallenatos for me is a big one for me.
Yep.
I could drink to vallenatos and I won't go drunk, but being with my family, just drinking guaro.
Yep.
Because once the music hits me, it's like,
It
like
gets
a
you
different
like,
level.
yep.
So for me, vallenatos is a must. Me of rancheras.
I'm so glad you like vallenatos as well. Like música popular, all of that is like, yeah, it's proper good music for real.
I used to get bullied for that.
Really?
Yeah, I used to be called old. Usted muy viejo. You should have been born in the 80s. Oh, my sister used to say to me, we were wrong at different times. I should have been born in 93 because she likes a lot of reggaeton. I'm not a big fan of reggaeton. And you should have been born in the 80s because your taste in music is dreadful. But for me, I like Vicente Fernández, Pedro Infante, Julio Jaramillo, Los Diablitos, all of that music. So for me, I've got a very special connection with music that can touch me.
You know, I'm the same with that. I mean, you can ask Savannah. When we go to Bolocho, what am I singing the most out of all of my heart? Vallenatos and música popular. Put on Dario Gomez. Put on Jason Jimenez. I'm singing every lyric. Put on a Bad Bunny song. I won't know half the lyrics. You feel me? Like, but I feel like with that, I can relate to some of the reggaeton songs, especially the ones where it's more like, you know, like Corazón Roto, like all of like proper despecho songs. Like I can definitely relate to that a lot more than the one it's like, let's go to the club and pelear. Like I don't really relate to that one as much. However, the deeper ones, the ones that have a lot of feeling to, like if you listen to my playlist, you will hear with the songs and the way how it's laid out and the beats that are used. It's very about feeling as well for me. I feel like music is feeling.
Okay.
Without feeling in that music, it's not music.
Oh, 100%.
It's just soulless noise put together and bumped into it.
Yeah.
Definitely.
The last question I got is, what is the story between you and Champagne?
Hi, big up, big up Champs, right? Champagne Dior is my brother, listen, big up Lithuania, all day, every day. He is probably the first person that I collabed with making Latin music. Even though he's Lithuanian himself, we first came out with Bendecida, which was like, that was a kind of cool tune, but it was back when I didn't speak a lot of Spanish, so the Spanish is a bit broken in there, you know, it doesn't really flow as well as you thought. Then we came out with Aki Mirka, which that song has its own little story outside of R1. We managed to get that played on Lithuanian radio.
Oh, okay.
We got that played on Power Hit radio in Lithuania. It's the #1 station. We got #1 song of the day. That was crazy. And then, man, we come out with Ola Bebe remix because he heard the original and he was like, I like that. And then we really wanted to do a house song. So he was like, what if we turn this into a house song, put it together, and that's what came out of it. Like, I got to take my hat off for Shamps for real. Like, Shamps is definitely one of the people that has believed in me from the jump. Every time I've said to him, like, yo, I'm thinking about cooling off, you know, thinking about not really doing this. He's like, nah, you've got it. Yeah. You need to keep this going.
I agree.
You know? And, like, honestly, without Shamps, like, I probably wouldn't even be in the same position because I wouldn't have released the song. I wouldn't have, you know, done all of that. And, you know, him helping me find connection with, you know, my Lithuanian past and all of that is big. He's a big, good friend for me.
Okay. I know we're going to have to wrap up soon because you've got another
Studios,
event. But do you have any more events coming up apart from tonight?
Okay, so, tonight's Bolocho. That's going to be a crazy one. And then the next one is on the 6th of September at Box Park, Wembley.
I'll be there.
For the RBS event. We're trying to get some more stuff booked in, you know, with timing and work and trying to save money to go away and then do all of this stuff as well because I'm leaving again for Colombia in January. So, it's a lot, dude. It's a lot. And to, you know, kind of keep that all...
But I'm guessing with you leaving again for Colombia in January, it sort of pushes you to get everything done by then, rather than go,
Yeah.
I'm leaving again, so it doesn't really matter.
I mean, dude, I've done a photo shoot, a podcast, and I'm performing in 3 nights in a row and going to the studio. I wouldn't have done that before.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like now when we have these opportunities, we need to just go ham.
100%.
And get myself ready. So when I go back out there, next level.
Oh, 100%. 100%. And you're going to be big.
Hundreds.
I think you'll be bigger when you come back from your trip in January.
You think? I'm not coming back from my trip in January, bro.
Oh, you're not?
I'm trying not to.
Oh.
Even if I have to travel around South America and go to Mexico and then go to like back to Colombia for like the 3 months.
Oh, damn.
Because foreigners can only stay there for 6 months in a year, which is why I had to leave. The only reason I left is because of the visa restrictions.
That I didn't know.
Yeah. So obviously, if you don't have like your visa or anything like that, to get a migrant visa is extremely difficult. So it's mostly, you know, would be bored around for 3 months, go somewhere else, travel around, then come back for the last 3, and then leave, and then come back for January again. A whole mission in itself.
Oh, so you're not coming back?
I'm trying not to come back to England.
Okay.
I probably will be, you know, I will come back obviously to, you know, see family and do all of this extra stuff. But like right now, that's why I'm trying to get everything done here, see everyone I can. I'm gone.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
This is serious.
Yeah, this is, yeah.
Damn.
I definitely made this decision, like, just sitting there on the balcony, just looking out at the city. I'm like, listening to my music on the phone, like all of these people need to know my name, and I can't do that if I'm over this side.
Okay.
I mean, of course, it can happen.
Yeah, 100%.
However, like, bro, when I tell you, before I left to go to Colombia, my followers was like 230. Now I've come back, it's at 604.
That's good. Keep pushing it.
Definitely.
The reason that I'm saying this is, when I started my journey, I was at 200 followers. And before, I just didn't care about followers. I didn't care about anything like that. But keep pushing.
Yeah.
Keep putting your stuff out there.
Of course.
Keep putting your music out there. And trust me, those followers won't only be your followers, but they'll be your friends.
Yeah.
When I started this journey, like I said, I went from 200 to 500 within a day. And that was from one video.
Wow.
My first ever video. But once people see you're real and you're pushing things because you want to succeed, trust me, the like follow ratio is gonna smash it for you.
Yeah, 100%.
I've been there. I've been on this journey, and now it's time for you to do your thing, bro.
Thank you, man.
That's alright.
Appreciate all of the people for watching. Appreciate, you know, Juan for having me, Savannah for sorting it. You know, all out here doing big things.
We are.
And the viewers as well, you know, believe in yourself. You can do anything you put your mind to.
100%.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm going to let you go, bro. I know you've got another session now.
Yes, sir.
I won't be there tonight, but I'll be there on the 6th of September.
Be great
I've
to
sorted
see
it with work. And yeah, we're just going to kill it.
Therefore, bro.
Let's go.